curious brothers and sisters, today we are going to discuss about mystery of yoga. In present time, we all are familiar about yoga. Now these days, many people in all over the world doing yoga practices and yogasanas for their better health and better life. But question is, what is yoga? What we understand by word yoga? In present era, we can see there are many yoga teachers all over the world. There are many preachers, those are preaching about yoga, different yoga techniques and yogasanas. But very few people knows about the concept of yoga. What is yoga and what is the meaning of yoga? There are very few people those understand about the concept of yoga. And what is the target of pursuing yoga practices? Therefore, first of all, try to understand meaning of word yoga. What is the meaning of word yoga? And the word yoga is very famous. Everybody used to discuss about yoga. But yoga is English pronunciation of Sanskrit word yog. Pure pronunciation is only yog, not yoga. But everyone used to say, I am doing yoga practices, I am doing yoga asanas. But that is yog, the original pronunciation of yog. Now try to understand about meaning of yoga. If we will go through the Western English dictionaries like the Dictionary of Cambridge and Oxford, then we will find meaning of yoga is taking care about your health. They explain yoga in this way. According to Western dictionaries and Western definitions, yoga is a remedial treatment. It is a healing process. In all over the world, more than 95% people understand that yoga is a therapy. It is a technique of treatment. Although there are many therapies in this world like allopathy, homeopathy, Unani, Ayurvedic, acupressures, acupuncture, etc. and etc. And yoga is one of them. But dear friends, there is no doubt in yoga is a healing technique. And now these days, many people are getting health benefits from yoga practices. But don't understand that yoga is only a therapy to maintain your physical health and curing your diseases. Then question is, what is yoga? More than health? More than treatment? Yes. But how to understand it? If we want to understand the concept of any subject, then what should we do? We should try to know about the beginning of that subject or origin of that topic. And our topic is yoga. And from where this word yoga originated, we should know. In which books and epics this term discussed. If we will go through the epics of ancient India, we will find that there are many Puranas and Shastras. Those are discussing and writing about yoga. But there is one epic, a specific book is called Yoga Shastra. Yoga Shastra is written by an Indian scholar known as Maharishi Patanjali. Now these days, Patanjali is well-known name all over the world, and history of Patanjali is about 2500 or 3000 years old. But before Maharishi Patanjali, yoga has been discussed in Srimad Bhagavad Gita of Lord Shri Krishna, which is about 6000 years old. In both the epics, concept of yoga is same, but there is difference in the way of explanation of yoga. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, discussion is going on between Shri Krishna and his disciple Arjun in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Lord Shri Krishna is explaining yoga to solve the psychological problems of Arjun, and that all explanation by Bhagavan Shri Krishna depends upon the questions and doubts asked by Arjun from Lord Shri Krishna. But in Yoga Shastra, there is free and technical explanation of yoga is given. The revered name of Maharishi Patanjali is well known all over the world in present time. He is known as a seer, scientist and a philosopher from India. He has written many facts about yoga in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. It is also known as a Patanjali Yoga Sutrani. The word sutra, what is the sutra? The word sutra means formula, which reveals the mysteries to the related subject. In Yoga Sutra, the formula which reveal the mysteries of yoga. And Yoga Sutra reveal the mysteries about yoga. Now we will try to understand the mysteries. What are that mysteries? First of all, if we are pronouncing the word yoga, then what is the word yoga? It is derived from the root word yuj of Sanskrit language, which meaning is making union or oneness. And meaning of yoga, then what is the meaning of yoga? Meaning of yoga is to make union with Supreme One or Supreme Power. It is the process of making oneness with the Supreme and Pure Almighty, the source of power and energy. Target of yoga is to get liberated from all the worldly miseries, and all the miseries are coming from our mind. It is mind behind. It is not limited to physical health only. Yoga is not limited to physical health. Now try to know what he says, what Maharishi Patanjali is saying in Yoga Sutras. Let's discuss the verses of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. What Maharishi Patanjali says about yoga and how is it revealing mysteries of yoga, it will be discussed. In the first verse of first chapter of Samadhi Pada, Maharishi Patanjali said, he just starting it to explain, and he said, Ath Yoganushasanam, mean Ath Yoganushasanam. Let's start about the explanation of yoga. He is just starting only. And he said, Ath Yoganushasanam. And in the next verse, he said, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. What is the meaning of yoga's Chitta Vritti Nirodha? It means the yoga is Chitta Vritti Nirodha. There are three words, Chit, Vritti and Nirodha. Nirodha means to control. It is the process of prevention, process to control, technique to control, and Chit and the Vritti. Try to understand what is Chit and what is Vritti. It is the target of yoga. He is giving, in second verse, Maharishi Patanjali is giving the target of yoga. Why to do yoga? What is the target to do yoga? Why we do yoga? And yoga Target of yoga is to control your thought waves. What is chit? Listen about it. Chit is just like the surface of mind, and vritti. Vritti is just like the waves. Many waves are coming and reflecting through the surface of mind, and these waves are coming and leaving many impact on our mind, on our brain, on our daily life. This is the flow of thoughts. The meaning of complete verse is the yoga is definition of yoga is to control the thought waves. Through thought waves. It is the control of thought waves because thought create many problems. And it is just like waves are just like suppose surface of water. There is a lake. There is a pond of water. The water is totally constant. The level of water, there is a calmness in the pond. There is no any inconstancy in the pond. There is a complete calmness in the pond. And what you have to do? You have to throw a piece of stone in the pond. What will happen? The stone will fall in the pond, and wherever the stone will dip inside the water in the pond, what will happen from that point where the stone is falling, where the stone dipped inside the water, from that point the waves will create. And on the surface of water, inconstancy will create. Inconstancy will appear there. And what will happen? The whirlpool will develop. The whirlpools will develop, waves will develop surrounding that point. From that point, that point will be the center of whirlpool. Many waves will start, and the calmness of surface of water will disturb, and many waves will start from that time. These waves are in the same thing is here in our mind. The surface of mind. When thoughts comes, when any thoughts come through our sense organs, through our eyes, through our ears, many thoughts we receive in daily life, in our daily life. We receive many thoughts, and that thoughts are just like a stone on the surface of mind. This mind like a pond, this mind like a lake. And that time what happened? The waves create, whirlpool develops. Many waves create, from one wave to one wave. One wave is reason behind the creation of another wave. One thought is reason behind the creation of another thought. It is the origin point. Many waves create in our mind, many thoughts comes in our mind, and these thoughts may be negative, may be positive, but these thoughts are disturbing elements. These thoughts are reason behind the inconstancy of our mind. If the thoughts are uncontrolled, our mind will be uncontrolled, our mind will be inconstant. And the target of yoga practices is to control these thought waves. First of all, this is the big mystery of yoga. It is not only to maintain your physical health, not for only curing your diseases and treatment. It is not mere a remedial treatment. It is the control of mind. Target is to control of mind, because all miseries are coming from our mind. Now, go to third verse. What he says? Maharshi Patanjali said in third verse, Tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. After that, what will happen? There were many waves in water of that pond. There were many waves. But after doing yoga practices, meditation, proper concentration, what will happen? The surface of water will become calm. Inconstancy on the surface of water will vanish. And that time what will happen? Maharishi Patanjali said in third verse of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, he said, Tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. Means at that time, the time of meditation, the yogi rests in his own unmodified state. The waves will stop. As soon as the waves have stopped and the lake has become quiet, we see the ground below the lake. That time, we will able to see the basin of the pond. We can see the ground beneath the lake. So with the mind, same process is going with our mind. When the mind will become calm, all the thought waves will stop. Then what will happen? We will be able to see our own nature. We will reside in our own nature. There will be no any manipulation. There will be no any manipulation. There will be pure nature of ourself. This is the target of yoga. To reside in self. To know the self. Know thyself. The target of human life. The goal of human life. Know thyself. Beyond self, there is no any God who exists. Everything is in self. That's why. There was a great saint, Swami Ram Tirth. He said in his book, in Woods of God Realization, he said, there is no difference between realization of self and realization of God. Without knowing self, nobody can know God. If you want to know God, you must know the mystery of yoga, the meaning of yoga, the purpose of pursuing yoga practices. But in present time, many people don't know about yoga. They don't know the target of yoga, the meaning of word yoga, how we can define it. They don't know, but many are preaching. There are many teachers, many preachers, those are preaching all over the world about yoga, but don't know what is yoga. This is the problem. And if we don't know, we will understand that this is only a therapy. This is not therapy. Yoga is the mystery. Yoga is the mystery of most mysterious thing called God, Almighty, Supreme Power, source of power and energy. How to establish oneness with that Supreme One. And yoga explains the process about establishing, about making oneness with that Supreme Power. We will continue this lecture about the Yoga Sutras, what Maharishi Patanjali is saying in the next verses, in the 4th, 5th and 6th verses, in next lecture. And by this, I would like to pause my thoughts here, my voice here. Thank you very much.